impressed, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's absolutely right. I have been badgering him for months to get him to come and visit here, because I think this is a brilliant example of just what can be achieved by moving to academy status. And you know, the energy and enthusiasm of the students, he was very struck by that. And I was very proud to be able to show off this brilliant academy to the decision maker.
You say decision maker. Would you want to see every senior school in the borough be an academy?
Well, the facts speak for themselves. Academies do perform better, so I would encourage any school, any governing body, any head to really seriously consider academy status. I know a lot of them are thinking about it. Obviously Ockenden has just very recently become an academy, and yes, I mean, ultimately I think academies do deliver better education. I'd like to see them encouraged, and throughout Thurrock and in primary schools as well.
Because the question was that Mr. Gove wanted to see more power for Gateway Academy. What did that mean, do you think?
Well, you will be aware, Michael, that the biggest challenge we have here in Thurrock is actually our primary school provision, and Ormiston are very much championing the idea of all through academies from 4, as are actually a number of other academy providers. And I think actually if they can do what they've done here to the primary school sector in Thurrock, then we are going to offer brilliant opportunities for our young children going forward, and I want to support them to achieve that.
But some people might think that this is almost a vote of no confidence in the LEA. Would you agree?
I think generally LEAs have not been delivering, and it's not just Thurrock, it's across the country, but the results speak for themselves. And I've looked at this programme in considerable detail. The Public Accounts Committee, when it looks at value for money of programmes, most of what it looks at, we say this has been a waste of money and it's failed on these fronts. When we looked at academies, we looked at the results, we looked at the inputs, and we said this is a great success, and this is actually delivering better education at lower cost than the LEAs can.
You mentioned the school in a speech on the floor in which you refer to trade schools and apprenticeships. This is clearly all interwoven, isn't it?
It is, it's all relevant. It's all about providing an education and training opportunities for young people that allows them to make the best of themselves. Now, we've just come through a period of government where the obsession was about academic qualifications, about getting people into university, and frankly that's just not fit for purpose for all pupils. It doesn't allow them to make the best of themselves, and it's not always producing the people that employers want to take on. So what we want to have is a range. If you're good at academic studies, yeah, give them the opportunities to do that. But also we need to make sure that we're opening opportunities for employers to access people with the skills that they need to give jobs. And I think actually there's some really good stuff going on in Thurrock in that regard. And again, I wanted to enable my colleagues in Parliament to benefit from some of those imaginative solutions.
The councils have all taken a 5% cut, but the senior management I've said they're not going to take a 5% cut. What's your reflections on that?
Yeah, you can't vary the terms of people's individual employment contracts in that way. I mean, that just can't be done. So, to be honest, calling for them to take one is a bit of political gimmickry that was never going to go anywhere. But I think there is an issue about just how much we are paying senior management in local authorities. It's been allowed to bid up, and I'm not sure that they are at levels that we really should be expecting.
What do you think? Have a wonderful, wonderful break.
What's Eric Pickle's agenda in this constant, that we're reporting on, that just a real sort of chipping away at local government? Where do you think where is it going?
Well, where is it going? It's going towards localism. I mean, what Eric is trying to do is strip away all the sort of central controls on local government and say, power's over to you guys. But at the same time, if local authorities aren't stepping up to the plate, he's going to tell them. So we are actually trying to engineer a serious culture change here, and it will be challenging for local authorities who, after decades of being told you must deliver X number of houses, you must do this, you must do that, that's all going to go, but then they've still got to be responsible about how they deliver services. And if you take an area like Thurrock, we've got a serious problem with our LDF not having enough housing provision in it. And what that will mean is that every housing application gets referred to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State will have to approve it because Thurrock has failed to deliver a decent framework. So that's what we're talking about. Localism means, yes, more freedom for local councils, but more responsibility as well.